An SAS hero who was involved in storming the Iranian embassy in 1980 has been left homeless. 64-year-old Bob Curry says Herefordshire Council has failed to provide him with a home. He's currently living in a B&B paid for by handouts from charities. Live to Suffolk, where we can speak to former Sergeant Trevor Coles, a friend of Bob. Hello to you. Thanks for joining us on Sky News this afternoon. So tell us, Trevor, the story behind what's happened to Bob.
Well, basically, Bob's had a fantastic career. However, last year he had a few difficulties, and he has been in touch with the Hereford Council. On 5 separate occasions, he went to Hereford Council. They asked for help, and he was told basically to bog off, and he did. And he's a very proud man, and the fact that he had to go cap in hand. He didn't like that, but he had to. Once the regiment found out that Bob was in difficulties, the regiment jumped straight in to help him, and they were paying for him to stay in a bed and breakfast, which is fantastic, but it's not sustainable. So I was asked yesterday to put out a tweet on Twitter to try and embarrass the council into helping him, and I didn't think it would have had the global response that it's actually had, and it's fantastic that we've now been able to help Bob.
How have you been able to help him? What's going on now?
Well, Bob has been, myself, I have been given, I've been offered money from countries all around the world, New Zealand, Australia, France, Iceland, Canada, and every single message I've received over 3,000 messages, and it's all been people wanting to give money to Bob. But at the end of all of these messages, they have said the same thing, that they are completely stunned that our government have done this to our veterans. They're stunned that this is how we treat our heroes. We've Andy McNabb with the Sun has set up a campaign where it's had nearly 500 people have donated money to help Bob.
See, now, we've heard from the council. They say that he was offered 2 properties that he accepted and then subsequently turned down. What's the story behind that, Trevor?
That is true. Bob was offered 2 properties, but to be quite honest, they were disgusting. They were disgusting properties. One of them was a place where they sent drug dealers to dry out. It had syringes on the floor, and the other one was in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
So yes, they did offer 2 properties, but they were terrible.
So what do we need to do? What sort of property does he need?
Well, Bob's a simple man. He just needs a place where he can have a bed and be able to get washed and cleaned, which would be a start, wouldn't it?
Most certainly. The council, you obviously have spoken to time and again. Is it something that you're going to rely on the council for, or will the charity now step in and basically just take over his care?
Well, basically, the public have taken over, and the public are looking after his care because our government doesn't give a damn about our veterans. I've just listened to your previous interview about Theresa May now saying that she's going to give £45 million to France to help out with the border. And you know what? She hasn't even given £45,000 to help veterans. You know, it's a disgrace that our country has went down this path. And that is why, and here's an exclusive, that is why on the 9th of February in London, there will be a new political party being launched called the Democrats and Veterans, which are full of veterans from all different frontline services who have got together, and they are now going to form a political party because we believe our ministers have stopped representing us. They don't care about the British people. They care about what other foreigners think before us. We're the people that elected them and put them in Parliament, and currently they don't speak for us anymore. So we have to speak for ourselves.
Tell us more about your political party. What side of, are you left? Are you right? Or what are you hoping to achieve?
Democrats and Veterans Party, we are not left and we are not right. We're straight down the centre, and we don't take crap from ministers. It's about time we had a party which spoke for the people.
OK, so what do you want to achieve? What's your manifesto going to be?
Our manifesto includes investing money in our frontline services. It includes looking after our pensioners. It includes looking after our veterans. It includes people that are on the street that are homeless, not just veterans, but homeless altogether. It's to stop giving away bribes to countries that apparently for the last 300 years, because our ancestors invaded countries, we now give them aid. Countries don't need our aid. We would like to give aid to countries that need it, but not aid to countries that don't want it. We need to invest in ourselves. We need to invest in the UK again.
OK, so in the meantime, Herefordshire County Council, they've not offered what you want for now. They obviously will be very aware, and they've given us the statement, given that you have managed to highlight the plight of Bob. How is he feeling about things now?
Bob is humbled right now. He is overwhelmed with the amount of support he's received from the public, and he started crying earlier. He just is overwhelmed that there's that many people in the UK that do care, but have not got a voice.
OK.
So...
Go on. Sorry, go on. I interrupted you.
He's humbled. There's a lot of Special Forces guys at the minute are annoyed at what's happened, but understand that this is what's happening in the UK at the minute. It's not just we were able to help him because he was Special Forces, but there's a lot of homeless veterans out there that don't have that cap badge, which need our help as well. And as well as that, there's also hundreds of people and thousands of people that are homeless in the UK, which we need to help. Maybe other countries should start giving us charity for our homeless, because we do quite well giving them.
OK, it's good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. As I was saying, Council have issued a statement. This is what they said. They said that they can confirm that it's actively working with this individual, Bob, to secure accommodation within the county. Unfortunately, to date, the individual has not provided all the documentation needed to legally register for housing. However, regardless of this, the council's housing team has found and offered 2 different forms of accommodation in areas which were agreeable to the individual, but which have subsequently been turned down. We are continuing to work with the individual to help them secure appropriate housing. We heard what Trevor had to say about that in response. He said they were completely inappropriate accommodation for Bob.